I'm Keith Boyle. I'm the CEO of Newfound Gold Corporation. Newfound Gold has assets in Newfoundland, and we're developing an emerging gold producer with the ramp up of the Hammerdown mine and development of our flagship Queensway project. In addition, we have an extensive land package that is camp scale, and we're advancing an aggressive exploration program to develop that potential.
Keith, good to see you and Happy New Year, sir. Look, we're here to talk about 2026 and what you are resolved to do, your New Year's resolutions with the company. But first, it might be worth looking back at 2025 because that really is the kind of setup for this year. When you look back, what were the kind of big movements, the big changes, the big influences on this? I think you probably got to start with the team, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I was exactly go there. It changed at the board level in December of 24, and they brought me in January of 25. The mandate being, let's get to production. And we were an exploration company and had been doing that for 5 years since discovering the Queensway deposit. And so it was time to make that shift. We changed out the team. With my appointment, and as well, there was a full board change out starting in December. And so with that, we really set up or brought in the people necessary to develop and operate mines. However, we did keep Melissa Render, who's our president and was VP of Exploration, and she stayed on. I mean, she's doing a great job finding gold, and so that still is a key part for us. The second part was in advancing our project. We released a mineral resource. We released a PEA that really did demonstrate a robust project in a phased approach, mindful of capital allocation and potential dilution to the shareholders. And that was really well received by the market. And so with that release of the resource and then the PEA, we were able to then raise $87 million of both flow through and hard money to advance our efforts in exploration and project development. And, lastly, we acquired maritime resources and ground with exploits. And those were strategic acquisitions to one, synergistic in that we were acquiring a developing mine that was going to be starting production in 2025. But more importantly, and just as important, was we were now putting our hands on milling facilities that was key in advancing and staying on track with the advancement of the Queensway project. Now, in the background, with all this happening, Melissa Render, our president, had a team of 6 rigs, up to 7 rigs actually, doing a full 70,000 meter drill campaign. To 80% of it was focused on the project, and 20% was focused on exploration. And so with the infill drilling, the grade control drilling, and all the project-related drilling, that was advanced, and we released some of those results, which were quite spectacular. In particular, the grade control drilling, I think it really demonstrated that continuity of high grade. And then the exploration, we released some really good results up at Dropkick. And so that, really does bode well for potential expansion of our resource. So, all in all, we put the team in place. We showed the market, or put out to the market, that what our asset was, so that people could actually see what it was. We acquired maritime, and we advanced
Mm-hmm.
all the work necessary to really set us up for 2026.
For sure. And I want to come back to the people side of things, because I think that's like I said at the beginning, it's the seismic shift in perception in the marketplace. You were able to raise a lot of money off the back of this. And maybe it's worth kind of naming some names, because it wasn't just a case of moving from exploration through to a kind of production or build production profile. Some of the people that you brought in at board level to fulfill obviously Melissa's and her team are continuing to find high grade gold, but it's the build, operate and finance that I think has given the market comfort, and certainly more institutional investors comfort, that this thing's getting built.
Yep. So, with on the development side, where we acquired the Hammerdown project, so we're in a ramp up situation. Still have to, fill in what wasn't built yet, but it's through the ramp up. And Rob Assabgui, our Chief Operating Officer, has, lots of years of experience. His last gig really was he was VP of the Manitoba division for Hudbay. So brought Lalor into production, a significant mine that Hudbay has up in northern Manitoba. And so he's got the right, skill set from development all the way through to good operations. And so ramping up Hammerdown and advancing the Queensway project through engineering and then development starting in 26. With that, we've got we hired Cutfield Freeman late last year, because we do have to raise some project financing to develop Queensway. Hashim Ahmed, our CFO, has lots of experience in that. He was with Mandalay prior to us, and even before that was a key part of the team at Jaguar that turned Jaguar mining around. And so great confidence in Hashim. And as you mentioned, yes, Melissa, the one continues to find the gold, and we continue to announce that. And we're well set up to, really focus on having that what I would call value accretion through the drill bit. Create value through the drill bit, and we've got the property package to do it.
Right. Well, let's look at one of the thing that I guess one of the big achievements of last year as well, which is obviously Hammerdown and Pine Cove acquisition. It comes down to kind of sequencing production and sequencing, I guess, revenue, and reducing the kind of cost of capital as you go through. So, in terms of achieving steady state production at Hammerdown, what is that going to mean in terms of tons, grade, recovery, or costs going forward? And are you able to talk about that yet?
Yeah, well, I was just going to mention. So Hammerdown, it had a feasibility study that was put out in 2022. And so it's a bit outdated. There's been more drilling that's happened since then. And as well, they had contemplated milling at a different mill. And so we've got work to do to bring that together. I will say that the ramp up will happen over the first 6 months of this year, and then we should be in a steady state. We're targeting to release an updated technical report towards the end of this quarter, the first quarter, and so we'll have all the answers to your questions then. I'd be jumping the gun here by telling you what.
I hear. Okay. So, getting your ducks in a row on that. Let's kind of move to, obviously, team. You've got the team that you want, and I'm sure that's evolving as time goes on as well. Queensway, obviously, that's where the great expectation is. In terms of technical confidence in that development path, what can you tell us?
We're advancing. We issued the PEA back in July, and we've, since hired an engineering firm with a larger owners team to advance the Queensway project. So with the drilling that was done this year, we want to update the mineral resource. We're targeting, somewhere where update the mineral resource and then update the technical report in order to have the details on which to build phase one of the Queensway project. And so all of that, call it the FID somewhere around the second half of next year, this year. we're in 26.
I keep making that mistake myself.
Second half. And in parallel, one thing I haven't spoken about is our permitting, which for us, working in Newfoundland, the government's been great, and that effort's being led by Jared Saunders, our VP of Sustainability. And he is a Newfoundlander, lives in St. John's, was born in Springdale, which is right where the Hammerdown mine is. And so he really has good connections with the government, and they're working really well together. And so we're targeting to submit our environmental assessment application for Queensway this first quarter. And with that, expecting a good turnaround on that. And because we've been working with the same engineers that Firefly worked with. And so our approach to that application is the same. And Firefly ended up getting their EA in 45 days. So really quick turnaround, which then after the EA, you've got to go through, but we would expect the permits to come quickly thereafter. And like I said, the government's been great to work with. And so with that, we're in parallel with the project financing and the engineering that's going on. We'll have the permitting. So, we could see shovel in the ground later this year as part of the early works.
And obviously you've got the former Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador on board, Dr. Andrew Furey. Has he given you insight into how to better present information when one is applying for permits or licenses for the project?
The short answer is yes, but you raised a point that I really haven't gone through, is that we did change out the board as of December. All new members today, it's all new members of the board that weren't there in before December of 24. And they've been great support, the whole lot of them. So you've got, Paul Hewitt that came in, as I said, he came in and really started the change. Andrew Furey, the former Premier of Newfoundland Labrador, yes, he's helped in identifying, a political game is a political game. And so, he's helped us, supported me. But we've got other members on the team as well. We've got Tamara Brown and Chad Williams that were brought in, two good mining executives that have a lot of experience. More recently, we appointed Allan Palmir, a seasoned mining executive that came in with the maritime acquisition. He was chair of their board. And so we've got a really strong board and one that knows development and production. And so I feel really supported by that team.
It's kind of, it can get quite casual in a market like this because you think there's money everywhere. But at the end of the day, they've still got a job to do in terms of setting up where this money's coming from, the type of money, the cost of that money, and how you draw that down. So have things changed in your view? I guess
I'll say my upbringing, but my experience has been with development, single asset development companies. My first mine brought into production was during 2008 crash, when there was no more money left. And so I guess just my reflex is to be prudent with all the spending that's going on. And so with the advancement of the project, we're very focused on making sure, one, we know what the costs are going to be, but two, also have the systems in place to track them. With Hammerdown coming into production in really later this year, after the ramp up steady state, we feel at these gold prices, it really is going to help us in being able to then manage the amount of money that we have to raise externally in order to advance Queensway. It'll help us a lot.
Okay. So, this was meant to be just a quick review of last year and look into kind of the catalyst for this year. So, just to finish off, for you, what do you point us investors towards? Because you've had a good response in the market towards the end of last year. Shares up significantly. To do more, to continue to do that, what do you need to execute on? What do we need to value?
Okay, well, we'll be catalyst rich for sure. We announced about 40% of the 70,000 meter drill campaign that had gone on. So we've got lots of results that we'll be releasing. The lab is catching up, and so we'll be releasing those. Next is we are advancing a project financing in order to keep Queensway developing. Third, we've got our technical report at Hammerdown that will be coming out. And we've got the permitting of Queensway. And that's in the short term. The rest of the year, second half of the year, we've got steady state production at Hammerdown. And, with everything happening the way we think it should, shovel in the ground at Queensway.
Keith, I appreciate the time today, and genuinely thanks for making the time for us. I know you're busy. Let's catch up soon on maybe some of those catalysts as they come through, and get up for this year. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Matt.